Welcome back to The Average Drinker. I'm Dara, I'm your average drinker, and holy moly, you guys can see a bottle of Blanton's here. I know a lot of people love Blanton's, a lot of people go after Blanton's, they try to find it. I really enjoy Blanton's. 93 proof, single barrel, it's enjoyable. Is it my favorite whiskey on the shelf? No, but is it something that is consistently good? Yes. Now I know a lot of people, like I said, go hunting for it, they try to find it, they look for it, because it is a cool looking bottle. It's really cool, and like trying to collect the horses is cool. Plus, it's something that does taste good. Now, every single barrel is different. A lot of stores will sometimes have a release of a single barrel. I think that's what this one is. Yeah, this is a store pick. So they come in at 93 proof, like I said. I enjoy it, but I think it's hard to find for a lot of people. And I know a lot of people out there who still haven't found Blanton's, who haven't tried Blanton's. So I want to bring out some of my favorite alternatives. I know a lot of people slam Blanton's, but to me, this is a great intro to whiskey. It's also a great pour to drink. If we could all drink it every day, like as a daily drinker, it's lower proof. That would be cool, right? It would be cool. But I like this because it was the first bourbon that I actually enjoyed ever. The first bourbon that I was like, that is cool. And that's because the bottle looked cool. And then I tasted it. It wasn't like overpowering with proof. It was just a good classic bourbon. So I know that there are still people looking for this. And I want to bring out some of my favorite alternatives or bottles that might be as good as Blanton's. Some of them are going to be a little better. Some of them on the list are going to be a little bit higher proof than Blanton's. But I'm trying to keep it within that 100 range proof, like that 100 proof range. And also, they're not all going to be single barrels. So that's how I'm like doing this. That's how I'm going to introduce these bottles. So here we go. Let's do this. Also, if you guys like Blanton's, let me know in the comments. I'm always curious to see because I know it's such a divisive bottle. I know a lot of people like to hate on it. I know a lot of people like to love it. So let me know what you think and also what your favorites are, like alternatives are, if you've got them. Now let's dive in. I'm going to start off with the first and most obvious one. I think this is a pretty obvious one, and that is Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace is a great classic bourbon, comes in at 90 proof. Sometimes stores do picks of it. Generally under $30, generally. Now I know some stores do allocate this. It is on an allocated list. I know some states you can't even find it. Colorado, you can find it sitting on the shelf in most stores. And it's mostly $25. Yeah, that's a good price. That's a really good price. And for what you get in here, it's great. And to me, this always does really well in a blind. Every time I do this in a blind, I'm kind of blown away, honestly. So that is my first. I do have 7 on my list. So that is the first one. We're going to do Buffalo Trace first. Next up on the list is one that I like to bring out in these lists a lot of times, and that is Wild Turkey 101. So Wild Turkey 101 bourbon. I don't know if there are actually places you can't find this. It's one of those that is kind of like the quintessential bourbon that's on a shelf in a store. It's affordable, it's findable, and it's really good to me. I think this is kind of like, I always like to call this the GOAT of obtainable whiskey, but 101 proof, good classic bourbon flavor. You get a little of the turkey funk in there. You get a little bit of cherry and vanilla, but overall, it's very, very good, and I really like it, and that's why it's a good alternative to Blanton's, because it is a similar proof. Granted, it's a little bit higher, but you can find it, and it's good. Next up on the list is Four Roses Single Barrel. Four Roses Single Barrel, also super easy to find. This one comes in at, I always forget if it's 90 or 100. Yeah, 100 proof. So it's 100 proof, great flavor. You get some of that cherry, vanilla, a little cinnamon, kind of like I get out of a Buffalo Trace on a general basis. This one is really good. It's affordable. It's about $45, give or take a few bucks here or there. So you can find it. It's more affordable and enjoyable. So that's another one on the list, Four Roses Single Barrel. I really do love this one. It's so good. This is one that I like to call my daily drinker if I'm not drinking 101. So this is really good. Okay, next up on the list. Ooh, yeah. This one I had to reach all the way over there for. Early Times Bottled in Bond. I hadn't had this one in a while, but then Bill put it for me in one of those What's in the Box Tuesday videos, and I was super surprised at how good it was. Really enjoy it, and this one is one you can find everywhere. Great daily drinker, good price, findable, 100 proof. Yeah, this is the old bottle. We don't have the new bottle yet, so we haven't compared it, but another good one, another good classic bourbon that's super enjoyable, a good lower proof, and yeah, that is what I like. Early Times, bottled and bond, good stuff. Okay, moving on. I feel like I'm going fast. I'm like, psh, 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 psh. That's just me. I'm kind of weird sometimes. Okay, let's slow it down. Moving on to the next bottle. We have 3 more left. The next one is Cooper's Craft 100. I love Cooper's Craft 100. This one is obviously 100 proof. It's about $40. This one does taste a little bit different than Blanton's. Like, in my opinion, this tastes more of like a banana Laffy Taffy. But if you like that flavor, it's really, really enjoyable, and I love it. Yeah, it's kind of like a banana Laffy Taffy, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of caramel, good classic bourbon flavor with a little pizzazz to it. So that's a good alternative if you like banana, because I've actually never found a banana note in a Blanton's before. If you have, I'm kind of curious, because that would be kind of crazy, but you never know. Single barrels can be wild sometimes. So Cooper's Craft 100, it's another good one. I know it's harder to find in some parts of the country, because I know I've done videos before where I've said, oh, Cooper's Craft is one you gotta find, and people are like, no, Dara, I can't find this one. So I know some states can't find this one as easy, but Colorado, you can find it. So there's that. Okay, next bottle on the list is another one that has a little bit of a banana note in it, and that is Jack Daniel's Bonded. This one's, again, 100 proof. It's around $35. You can find it. I know that Jack Daniel's was saying this was going to be a standard release, so it should be on shelves nearly everywhere. Now, I know there are places that it's probably allocated or where you can't find it, just like some of the other bottles on the list, but I think this one is great. It's a good lower proof. It's good vanilla caramel, and again, it has some of that banana in it. So it's not quite the same banana that I get out of Cooper's Craft. The Cooper's Craft is more of a Laffy Taffy banana. This is more of like a banana bread banana to me. So there you have it on that one. So if you're looking for something with a little pizzazz compared to Blanton's, maybe the Cooper's Craft and the Jack Daniel's Bonded are good options for you there. All right, now we've got the last bottle on the list, and I know this one might be the toughest for some people to find, but in Colorado, you can find it everywhere. This is the Tin Cup 10-year. So this Tin Cup 10-year, again, 100 proof, not 100 proof, just kidding. I want to say 100 proof on all these, but it's not. This one's actually a little bit lower proof. This one comes in at 84 proof. It is MGP. It's about $50, and it's really, really good. It's kind of, if I wanted to say a whiskey was smooth, this is smooth. This is smooth, easy to drink, lightly oaky, nice amount of vanilla bean, just a really good, like, classic older MGP with full richness, some brown sugar, and it's easy to drink. It's a really good introductory to bourbon if you're trying to, like, you know, bring a friend into it. It's really approachable. It's something that a lot of people enjoy, and yeah, it's sitting on the shelf all over Colorado, so that's pretty cool. I'm curious to know which states this is in, because I don't know that it's in every single state. So if it's in your state, let me know in the comments too. I'm always curious. So that's another alternative. That's actually the last on the list. So 7 bottles that I think are good alternatives that are findable, approachable, enjoyable, and comparable to Blanton's. Now, some people might be like, no, there's no way those are even similar at all. I'm not trying to find something that's going to be an exact match, right? That's really tough to do with any bottle on the shelf. But these are some things that are good alternatives, especially if you're out there hunting for this beautiful bottle. Like, keep hunting for it. If you want it, keep hunting for it. Don't let anybody pick on you about it. It is a good bottle. And like I said, single barrels are different than other some single barrels are different than other single barrels. So some might be better than others. So there's that. That's my speech, my vent on Blanton's. I do enjoy it. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you like this list, if you agree with it. Anyhow, I'm gonna wrap that up and stop ranting on. I do this sometimes. I'm like blah 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 blah. Okay. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll be back with so much more of The Average Drinker. I'm Dara, and I'll see you next time.